All right, this is for day 7, page 253 and page 254. So the last two pages of day 7. This is a pretty hard one, not gonna lie. So 253, we're gonna do on this side. It says, what is the area of the figure at the right? Explain how you found your answer. Okay, so let's zoom into this one. So what is the area of this figure? So what we got to do first is we have to, how can separating the figure into smaller shapes help you? So we're going to actually separate this. We have a triangle here that we need to find the height. Oh, that's going to be tricky. Huh. And then this figure here, we're going to separate into a trapezoid. Oh, so look, check this out. So if this is 3 for the parallelogram, this is going to be 3 as well. This is going to be 3 as well. But look, from here, from here all the way to over here, it's 5. If this to this is 5 and this is 3, that means that this is going to be 2 right here, this height of this triangle. Now look at my height. From here to here, my height is 10. My base is my 10 for this triangle. But now for this parallelogram, from here to here, the height of this parallelogram, and from right here to right here, this height of this parallelogram right here is going to be 5. Because if this whole thing is 5 and it's split right in the middle, that means that if this is 5 and this line, the other part would be 5 as well. So for the parallelograms, let me see if I can write it over here to make it easier. We have 3 as the base, and my height is 5. And we have 2 of these. So 3 times 5 for the area is 15. Multiply that by 2 because we have 2, and we get 30. So the parallelograms are 30 feet squared. Now the triangle, my base of my triangle is 10. My base of my triangle is 10. And my height is 2. So to find the triangle area, we would do 1/2 times base, and let's do 10 times 2. What's half of 10? 5. 5 times 2 gives me 10. So now that I have the area for the triangle and the area for the 2 parallelograms, I need to add 30 plus 10 feet, which gives me 40 feet squared in total. If I went too fast, try going back on that video, maybe pausing it. Yeah. Now let's go to number 2. Let's go to number 2. Number 2 says the kitchen floor has the shape of this trapezoid right here. Tell whether each statement is true or false. First one, the height of the trapezoid measures 5 meters. Let's see, the height is from here to here and measures 4. This would be false. Number B, you can separate the trapezoid into a triangle and a rectangle. Let's see, can I separate it into a triangle and a rectangle? Yep, that works, so that would be true. You can use the expression 3 times 4. So it's saying 3 times 4 for the base, plus 1/2 of the triangle, plus 1/2, that's the area of a triangle, times 2. This is 2, and this is 4. Why is this 2, mister? 2 plus 3 gives me 5 in total. The whole thing is 5. So C would also be true. Look at number 4. The area of this square is the area is 12 square meters. So is this really 12 meters? Let's find out. 3 times 4 gives me 12. That's for the rectangle. Oh, my triangle is going to be something. Like it's going to be a number. But I'm going to add that to 12. That means it's going to be more than 12 meters, square meters. So the area can't be 12. It's got to be false. But let's solve it real quick. The area is 12 in here for the triangle. 2 times 4 equals 8. What's half of 8? 4. So my area would be 4. 12 plus 4 gives me 16. That's not the area. 12 is not the area. It would be 16 for the area. Now that is it for page 253. We'll go to 254. Just give me a second. 253. Oh no. We're at 253. And yeah. Now we have to do 254. Now for 254, we have this right here. Let me screenshot it. You can see how I do this. Where's my recent picture that I screenshotted? It's right there. We're gonna move this, zoom in a little bit. We're gonna change the canvas size. And there we go. So let's look at problem number 3, I mean. It says the floor plan for a sports store is shown below. Let's look at any hints on the side. How can you use the area of the clothing section to find the area of the equipment section? So we have this clothing section. Okay. It says which statement about the floor plan is true? Select all that apply. The area of the equipment section is 80 square meters. So equipment is at 80 meters. 8 meters times 10 meters. No, that's not true. 8 times 10 is 80. It is. But the equipment is only this part right here. It doesn't count the whole thing. So it wouldn't be 8 times 10 as 80. So it can't be A. Part B. The area of the clothing section is half the area of the equipment section. So the area of the clothing section, 6 times 4 is 24, is half the area of the equipment section. Now to find the equipment section, all you have to do is do 8 times 10, which gives you 80, and then take away the clothing section. When you do that, you get 56. That means that the area of the equipment section would be 56. So the equipment section would be 56. So equipment would be 56. Now it says the area of the clothing section is half the area of the equipment section. This is equipment, 56. What's half of 56? That's how we find out what is half. So 26. The clothing section is 24. It says that the area of the clothing section is half the area of the equipment section. Half of the equipment section. Oh, half of the equipment section would be 26. So the area of the clothing section, 24, is not half. So this one would be true. Part C. The area of the equipment section is 56. Yeah, that one's true. The area of the equipment section is the area of the store. The area of the equipment section is the area of the store minus the area of the clothing section. Yeah, so the area of the store is 80, and we took 20 of the clothing, and we got 56 for equipment. So part D would also be correct. It says Peter chose A as the correct answer. How did he get that answer? He said that the area of the equipment section is 80 meters. That's because he did 8 times 10, and he thought that would be for the equipment. But he's wrong. He thought 8 times 10 would be correct. Would be the area. That's the area of the store. Not the equipment section. Now let's go to our next one. Number 4. It says students play table tennis. Students play table tennis in a rectangular room that is 15 feet by 25 feet. So they play here, 15 by 25. There is 8 feet of floor space from each end of the table to the wall, and 5 feet from each side of the table to the wall. What is the area of the floor not covered by the table? What? Students play table tennis inside a rectangular room that is 15 by 25 feet. So inside this room, there's like a table tennis one. There's a table tennis in here. But it's saying that there's 8 feet of floor space from each end of the table to the wall, and 5 feet from each side of the table to the wall. So from right here to right here, they're saying that there's 5. Right here to right here, this is 5. And this is 5, meaning that's how the distance from the table to the wall. And on the other side, they're saying that it's 8 feet from this table to the wall and 8 feet from this table to the wall. What is the area of the floor not covered by the table? So what they're asking us, what is the area of this part right here? This part right here. And I'll erase it right now. It's going to be really tricky. So first, what we do is we do 25 times 15 to find out the area of the whole thing. Like we want to find out what the area of the whole thing is. So 25 times 15. So the whole, well, no, that's incorrect. So 25 times 15, it gives us 375. So the area of this whole thing is 375. Now we need to subtract the area of this right here. And this is how we find out. Now, if this whole thing is 25, we have to take away 5 and 5 again. So we need to take away 10, and we get 15. We'll do this over here. So when I take away 5 and 5 from 25, 5, 5, 10, 25 minus 10 is 15. That means that this one will be 15 for the base right here. Now for my height is 15. I got to take away 8 and 8. I got to take away 16. Ooh, that's too much. That's actually not going to work. That means my dimensions are wrong. I can't take away 16 from 25. So this means that these sides right here, we're taking away 8. It's 8 feet for space from each end of the table to the wall. So from the end of the table to the wall, it's 8 inches. And from this edge of the table to this wall, it's 5. Both on both sides. Now, if I want to redraw this again so we don't have a mess, to find out this length, I need to do this number minus this minus this. And this right here means is 8 and 8. So we're going to subtract 8 from 25 and then 8 from 25 again. 8 plus 8 is 16, so we're going to do 25 minus 16, which gives us 9. That means that this side would be 9 right here. Now for my height right here. I have 15 in total, and I need to take away 5 and 5, so I need to take away 10. 15 minus 10 gives me 5. That means that this height is 5. So now I have the area for both ones. I'm going to do 25 times 15 because the area of this whole thing is 375. And I need to take away the area of this one inside, 9 times 5, which is 45. When I subtract this, I get 330. That means that this area right here, the area not covered by the table, would be 330. That one's really confusing, people, but you're going to have a few questions that says 8 feet for space from each end of the table and 5 feet from each end. Meaning that they'll give you the area of the whole rectangle, but then you have to subtract how much space is between these two and how much space is between these two. And then you're going to have to subtract, for this height, you have to subtract how much is it from here to here, and then from here to here. It's a really complicated problem. But that is it for our page, day 7, page 253, and page 254.